This is Joe Crispin, former Penn State and professional basketball player. You are listening to the Mark Lesko Podcast.
I think you said that he could have gotten more separation.
There were some technique fundamentals in receiver that weren't perfect in the 80s. I had to throw a few points at criticism.
What was it like playing in March Madness? I mean, we have it going on right now.
But playing there was amazing. I mean, like, that's kind of your whole goal is to just be a part of that. It's such a special thing where the whole country is tuning in and anything is really possible, you know.
You know, my optimistic side said, like I said, that we're going to be okay. We just had a bad game. We were probably experimenting a little bit, ran into a good team. So.
If Miami came to our house, we would probably, if anything, win. We wouldn't get blown out.
When you first started playing football, you know, did you always want to play in college?
No, I was growing up. I was a big baseball guy. Loved baseball. And then 8th grade, I remember I got a call from my uncle, Coach Nagel. He's like, hey, I got the job. And I was just like, all right, I'll play football for you.
You are listening to the Mark Lesko Podcast, a podcast by diehard fans for fans. It's as honest and as raw as sports talk can be. Thank you for listening to the Mark Lesko Podcast.
Hey, everybody, this is Greg Garrity.
So Anthony Lottie will punt it away from the 41. Greg Garrity is the deep man for Penn State at the 10-yard line.
Former Penn State receiver and 2016 Big Ten champion. You're listening to the best Penn State Nittany Lion podcast, the Mark Lesko Podcast.
All right, everybody, welcome back in to another episode of the Mark Lesko Podcast. Joined by Brett once again, talking, well, this is pregame, man, for the game, Big Ten title game.
Yep, Big Ten title.
Day. Yeah, big day. I mean, it doesn't get any bigger than this, man. I'm really excited about it. And, you know, as I said before, I had the flu, and then I had a sinus and ear infection, and now I'm like hacking up. I mean, I'm not going to get too graphic, but I'm just like, man, 2 weeks now, almost 2 weeks now, I've been just fighting this stuff. So, thank God for modern medicine. It seems to be working. But I'm taking an antibiotic right now. I just finished up the steroid I was taking too. And, man, whew, don't get the flu. I mean, it is what it is, you know. I get sick like maybe one time a year. And literally this time last year I had like a chest cold. I had to take a Z-Pack. But yeah, man, you know, it's going everybody's sick. Like everybody's sick right now. It's crazy.
Sure
it's
is.
just this every flu season there's a new strain. You know, the thing is, like, you get like the flu shot, but the strain, it's I mean, it's the flu, man. It's been around for how long? Back in the day, I mean, it was so bad that it could kill you, because there was no medicine and stuff. And I mean, the fact that it keeps coming back every single year, it's crazy. I mean, it's like, viruses are extremely smart, man. Like, nature is something else. I'll tell you what. You know, I mean, you get sick. You get sick all the time.
I get sick all the time. Yep.
But so.
What about you, Gus? You're
Gus.
You're a sick man. We know that.
Gus,
sick man.
Welcome Gus back into the show. It's always good to have him on. So real quick, I want to pull up. I was texting. Well, first of all, tomorrow, going to be having Tyler Smith on, former player for Penn State. He was on the team that made it to the Sweet 16 in 2001. Still to this day, the furthest Penn State basketball's ever made it in the tournament. Had a big upset win over Purdue, which is fantastic. I love to see it. Joe Crispin is the man, and there's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. He is an absolute legend for Penn State, and he is the assistant head coach. Tyler was his teammate. Tyler's going to come on tomorrow to talk Penn State basketball on our new show, basketball show. Brett will be on too. Brett's a basketball guy. I don't know much about basketball / Penn State basketball, but I'm a Penn State fan, so I'm obviously going to support Penn State basketball. And if we can get that program good, then, that's all the more better for Penn State as a whole, because it's Penn State. We have the best fans in college sports. And, if we can get a good basketball team, I mean, I can only imagine what that would be like. The BJC is always fun to be at. It's a great venue. It gets a lot of crap for like being older, which it's really not. It's made in like 93, I think. But it's a great venue. It's fun to go watch games there, and I hope that they can really get that program going. But Tyler will be on for our first episode. Brett will join us kind of when his schedule accommodates it. Eventually, all three of us will be on. Hopefully, I think the second episode we'll be able to coordinate all being on. I think Tyler's going to come on quite often to talk about that. So just keep an eye out for that. And, the thing about that game when they beat North Carolina, that was after Dean Smith left. But, first of all, North Carolina, I'm a Pirates fan, so I have a winning team. My winning team is the Red Sox. And then North Carolina was always my winning team. I like North Carolina basketball. I always like their colors. Tyler Hansborough, Michael Jordan went there, Dean Smith. But one of the many things that Brett and I agree on. But Tyler, he guarded Julius Peppers, man. The number 1 pick in the NFL draft. I think he's a Hall of Famer, Julius Peppers. But can you imagine that? Like, guarding that guy?
Yeah.
Like, take an elbow from that guy into your stomach.
Not a good time.
But that's something I'm going to talk to Tyler about, when he's on, is like, and Ronald Curry was on that team. Ronald Curry, one of the greatest high school athletes of all time. He was Michael Vick's teammate in high school. That was just a good North Carolina team that they took down. And Penn State they had John and Joe Crispin, they had Tyler. I mean, that was just a great team that they had. So, on to the game. I wanted to pull up friend of the show, Greg Garrity, real quick. He can't come on. I texted him today. He said he's at a 2-year-old birthday party. So, but he was on the last team to win. And I wanted to pull up his story. His wife put this up today from when he was there. The last time, holding up the trophy.
It's great.
But, Greg's a good guy.
Gus was taking. I was gonna say Gus was taking my shine there.
Yeah, Gus wanted to get the front row view there. Yeah. So I just wanted to pull that up. Greg Garrity. We'll have him on, I'm sure, soon again. But he's busy with his family. I mean, he's got 2 kids now, and he's at a birthday party. So, some of his teammates. One of them is one of his teammates could be the MVP in the NFL this year. Another one of his teammates is on the best team in the NFL, Jason Kabinda. Another one of his teammates moved to tight end, Juwan Johnson. Another one of his teammates is out on IR, Chris Godwin. So, a lot of guys from that Penn State team are in the NFL. And
Saquon Barkley, we don't even have to mention him.
Exactly, the MVP.
Dude's freak.
That's who I mean. Saquon
okay.
Could be the MVP. And he should be the MVP, I think. It's going to be between him and Josh Allen. And, it just goes to show you, man, how crazy the NFL is, because Lamar Jackson, that guy's not even real, man. Like, he's so freaky athletic.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's insane how good of an athlete he is. And he's not even, I don't think, in the race anymore. But Saquon's a freak.
It's crazy.
Josh Allen is just Josh Allen. Lamar Jackson is just, man,
an alien, dude.
I mean, he's like Mike Vick. He really is. Like, he's Mike. The thing about Mike Vick, though, and Mike Vick, my favorite quarterback of all time is Mike Vick, because he was just, oh my goodness, it was beautiful to watch him play football. Great arm, insanely athletic. I mean, that guy was incredible. And he reminds me of Lamar Jackson. Reminds me of him. But yeah, Brett. So we got Penn State, Oregon tonight. Kind of split down the middle. Everyone on College Game Day picked Oregon, which is a good sign because they're all
Idiots.
half of them
Yeah.
are just idiots. And Desmond Howard picked Oregon. That's a very
Desmond
good
Howard's
sign
the big. He's the
I
biggest
like Desmond
idiot.
Howard.
Yeah.
He's a Michigan guy. I like Desmond Howard.
No.
Gus likes him too because Gus is a Michigan guy.
I've never liked Desmond Howard.
I like that. He's horrible at picking games. But he's not an Ohio State guy. I guess that's the one thing that I like about him. But okay, so I'll adjust this real quick so Gus, get out of the way. You're not on the show. All right. Gus is like already making us mad. Okay, so we got over under 50.5. I'd probably take the over on that.
I take the under.
And the under, okay.
If it becomes a defensive game, which I think it can, I would take the under. Yeah.
Yeah, it's Oregon -3 there. So that's what we're looking at with the spread, the over under.
Oh, it went down.
What? It was 3.5.
Oh, never mind. It's still 3.5, right? Okay.
Yeah, the open is 3, but yeah, it's 3.5. Oregon, which
yeah,
I mean, okay, they're the number 1 team in the country. The fact that they're giving them 3 points is, I think, pretty respectful of Penn State. I mean, I thought it'd be like 6.5.
It makes sense. 6 or so. Yeah.
Again, going into this game, man. And I was listening to Blue White earlier, and shoot, come on. Stupid thing. And Nate Bauer was saying how he said regardless of what happens tonight, we would have been in the top 4 of the college football playoff.
Like if they didn't have the playoffs?
If they had the top 4 again this year, we would have been in.
Yeah, I mean, as of right now, we're 3. So, I mean, I get what he's saying. I think he meant like without the 12-team playoff, we could have almost made.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Okay, so we got Oregon, Texas, us, Notre Dame. So I think he's right because if Texas loses tonight, they're not in the top 4. So we would have made the top 4 regardless this year.
It's hard to say because with the conference championships, I have no idea.
So, I mean, that's something to ponder a little bit. Is the fact that if it's top 4 this year, I think we're in regardless. So if Georgia beats Texas, Texas is in. Or if Georgia beats Texas, Georgia is probably, I guess they would be 2, and then regardless of whether we won or not, we would be in the top 4, and then Notre Dame would probably be in. So
well, it depends because Texas is ranked above us right now, so they might keep Texas in and kick us out. I mean, that's something we don't. It doesn't even matter. It's not a thing this year. So
yeah, I know, but that's interesting.
No,
he said regardless we would have been in, and I thought, well, that's not true. If we win tonight, we would have been in 100%. But
we would have been top 5 for sure. It's hard to say who they would have gave 4 to. Like last year, they should have gave it to Florida State, but their quarterback got hurt. You know what I mean? They got screwed. They were undefeated, dude.
So if we would have lost so what most likely, let's just lay it on the table. Say they're number 1. So let's say we lose to Oregon, they're number 1. We'll just give them we lose to Oregon, Texas loses to Georgia, then it's Oregon, Georgia, and then who is it? Notre Dame, us, or Texas that gets into the top 4 if we're doing top 4. I think
no idea.
It would be probably Texas and us. So they would maybe put Georgia. They'd probably put it'd be Oregon, like maybe Notre Dame, and then Georgia.
They would keep us out, dude. You already know how it would have went. They would have kept us out if we lose. They don't like us. They kept us out when we won the Big Ten title, dude.
Yeah, I know that, but I just, I think it'd be Oregon, I guess Georgia, and then, I mean, Texas and us. I mean, you're going to put Notre Dame in above us?
The committee probably would, yeah. I mean,
I don't know. I don't know about Notre Dame.
I mean, like I said, it doesn't matter because it's not something we have to even worry about. So
No,
I don't know.
But
yeah,
it's just interesting to think about.
No,
at
yeah.
the end of the day, like if we so if we win tonight, then we absolutely would have been in the top 4, and then it's like finally we're in the top 4. I mean, finally,
and
James Franklin did what he had to do all year, and they lost to Ohio State, and they could have lost other games. I mean, people on TikTok, of course, calling us dumbasses, morons, idiots, delusional. Penn State sucks. TikTok is a wonderful place, but they said that they're like, what win do you have? What win do you have that looks good on your resume? I said, Minnesota on the road.
Yep.
USC on the road, Illinois, Washington, who was in the national title last year. We blew them out.
Yep.
We blew the brakes off of Maryland. I mean, I see. Here's the thing: like, you look at the loss against Ohio State. It's like obviously we handed them that game.
Yeah.
So, but
and we have better wins in Texas. We have better wins in Texas, like we've said. So, this is a game that you don't. That's why the reason I would take the under is because that's what I'm hoping for one, because if the over hits, we're not winning the game. Think about it. If the over hits, we're not winning. Oregon has a better chance to score more points than we do. So if this turns into a shootout, we're not winning this game. There's a very small chance that we have winning this game. We don't have the weapons at receiver to do that. Oregon does. So the way for us to win this game, and I'll say it again, I think I said it the other day, but we have to be able to run the ball. I'm a little afraid of that just because we've been shaky on running the ball and we have some injuries on the offensive line. We're not going to be able to run inside zone. We can't run through their tackles. Their tackles are too good to begin with, and we can't run against mediocre tackles. We just can't do it. We have to run outside zone. We have to get Singleton on the outside. That's the only way we're going to be able to run the ball. Katron, I hope he's healthy. I don't know if he's been healthy. We have no idea. But he's good at outside zone too, but he's not as quick. So he needs to be able to punch some people in the mouth and break a few tackles to get some positive yards. So we're going to have to be able to run outside zone. Quick game to Singleton in the flat. He's been great. Singleton has almost 300 yards receiving this year. Think about that. He's caught 40 balls or something. So you're going to need Singleton's going to get the ball in his hands, man. They're going to pass it to him underneath along with Tyler Warren. If Tyler Warren doesn't get more than 10 to 15 touches, we lose this game. And what I mean by that is it doesn't have to be all catches. He's got to run the ball good. Once he does run the ball, he needs to catch it. They might even let him throw it. I think in this game, you don't want to chance that. Or at the same time, if he has a good look, then yeah. But I think Warren's going to need to have at least 80 yards receiving, a touchdown, 30 yards rushing. Like he's going to have a pretty good game for us to win this game. I think so. Think about it. If Amari Evans, if they can hit him deep once, that could be the changer in this game. That could be a game changer. If they get Amari Evans on a 50-yard deep ball, they get him open. I mean, that's huge. If they can't get Amari down there, then we're going to need Harrison Wallace to be Mr. Productive and get 6-7 catches, whatever it is, and then the rest of the receiver room needs to get a couple catches as well. But yeah, we need to win the time of possession. If we lose the time of possession, man, I don't think we're winning this game. Think about it. Also, we need at least one turnover, and then we can't turn the ball over. So if we stay clean, we don't turn the ball over, and we get like an interception or a fumble or multiple turnovers from them, then we have a good chance of winning this game. I just don't see us winning without creating turnovers on the defensive side. So I don't know. It's going to be a really tough game. Oregon's a really good team. I respect what they've done this year. They haven't had the hardest schedule. Let's be honest. They've played a weaker schedule than we did. So if you think of it that way, yeah, they beat Ohio State, but other than that, they've played a weaker schedule.
Man. I'm not saying we're going to beat them, but they're overrated 100%.
They let Washington score 21 points. We let them score 6 points.
They almost lost to freaking Wisconsin. I mean,
but that's something you can't really look at because that was their 8th game straight, and they had Tez Johnson, their best receiver, out. So yeah, they still struggle, and they shouldn't have struggled against Wisconsin. But they had their best receiver out, and going 8 conference games straight without a bye week is insane. So
yeah,
a lot of factors that go into it. But so yeah, I think that's what I think needs to happen. That's my case.
Yeah, we are live on Instagram too, guys. Just so y'all know.
Let's see Illicit.
Is Illicit up?
No, I'm saying I don't see him. You think he'd be here? Yeah.
So I agree with you. Our defense is going to have to show up, and I think it's beating them is we have the athletes, we have the defense to do it. Like I said, you might even want to just like pretty much make Tony Rojas a safety, have essentially like 7 defensive backs on the field. I mean, here's the thing about Abdul too, man. Like, he's doing good. Now, is he having the year that I would have liked him to have? Not totally. And he's constantly held. I mean, the only way to defend him really is to hold him, which they're going to do. They're going to hold the crap out of him all night. So get him through the line somehow if you can. Otherwise, just put him into pass drop, honestly. Because Oregon, I don't know what exactly their game plan is going to be. We have a 4-2-5. I think we're essentially running like a 4-7. Where we have basically 7 defensive backs and they have to be able to play the run because they're probably going to try to run it too, knowing that we know that they're going to pass. But if we can pass this offensive passing game, which I think we can, 110%, then we're good. But our offense has to produce, and again, like this is Kotelnicki's second big game. I hope they've learned from the Ohio State game, even if they play Ohio State again. I hope they've learned from the last time because that was a horrendous performance. So it's going to come down to the offense, man. Like I said, it's going to come down to our offensive line run game. And you said we can't do inside zone, which is like, I mean, there's more of a chance of, like Rutgers making the playoff than us being able to run inside zone. So we have to be able to run the ball. Offensive line has to show up, and Ryan Barker is going to have to hit some kicks because, again, it's going to come down to Ice Barker. That's who it's going to come down to. It's going to come down to Ice, I think. I think it's fairly high scoring. I don't know if the over hits, but I think it's going to be like 27-21, one of those kinds of scores, Penn State. But our offense has to show up, man. Like, that's it. Our offense has to show up. If our offense does not show up, we don't have a shot. I don't think, because our defense can only do so much, man, and we can't have enough. It could be Ohio State all over again, or it could be totally different, and we just blow the doors off the barn, So I've said it before, man. Like, these players, some of them have to break out of their shells, whatever the metaphor is. Break out of your shell. Some of them have done that for sure. Abdul Carter broke out of his shell. He was in a bit of a shell earlier this year. The run game has looked pretty good, but dude, have a 100-yard back, man. I think that's going to win us the game. If we run the ball and we score, I think we're good. When was the last time we had a 100-yard back?
It's been a while because they split carries, so that's why. But I mean, so Singleton had against Maryland, he had like almost 90, so that was a good game. And it was like 6-7 yards per carry. And then against Illinois, Singleton had 94 yards. So he had a good game there. But Singleton also, like, you can tell the difference when he's healthy. Right now he's healthy. He looks fantastic. Like, he looks like a different person. So the injuries were holding him back. But yeah, Katron, I think Katron has bad luck because they want Katron to run inside zone, and they're not blocking for him, so it's not even his fault. He'll lose like 2 or 3 yards. So like I don't know. But yeah, Jordan James, the running back for Oregon, is very good. They actually run more than they pass, like percentage wise. So we got to watch out for that. If we can't stop their run, they're going to do play action and kill us. You know what I mean? So if we can stop their run, we'll make them one dimensional, and that gives Abdul Carter time off the edge. Like you said, he started off a little shaky in the beginning of the year. He's still learning the position right now. But 10 sacks, 19 and a half tackles for loss. Very good year. Respectable year.
Yeah. I mean,
Yep.
he's certainly, I mean, he's just such a freak that
Yeah.
it's like, my bar for him is like pretty insanely high, but yeah, he's had a good year. Like him and Tyler Warren are pretty much locks to be first round picks.
Yeah.
And do you want to take a tight end top 10? I mean, it's rare, like they did it last year with Las Vegas. Yeah, I mean, Brock Bowers is a freak, and so is Tyler Warren. Tyler Warren is like better than Brock Bowers. Like literally Tyler Warren in the NFL, he could play slot. I think he could play tight end. He could play some quarterback. He could play some running back. I mean, he's a freak, man. Like, so, at the end of the day, I mean,
I'd say he's a top 20 pick in my eye. Top 20.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen where he'll go to the Colts. I've seen him go to the Chiefs with the last pick, which would be great. I'd love to see him go to like the Chiefs and, dude, that would be the New England Patriots all over again.
Pretty much. I hate the Chiefs, but for him, I would be happy.
Yeah.
You don't want to see him go to a dumpster fire program.
No. You don't want to see any team go to a bad team. Like it happens all the time. Reggie Bush, Saquon Barkley. I mean, like, it would be like the Patriots again, man. And between the two of them, one of them's dating Taylor Swift. That's the worst thing that they've done. Obviously Gronk and Aaron Hernandez. That was, one of them did something bad. But I guess Travis Kelce. I mean, he's that's not the best pick. I mean, that would be that's gonna offend all the Swifties who I don't think listen to this show, which is good. But so all right, Joe, it's good to have you back on. I'm assuming we're all Texas fans today, so they keep 2 seed and not 5. Yeah, I mean, I want Texas to win, 100%.
Yeah.
Joe, it's good to have you back on, man. I think Joe, were you the guy that we were going to meet up with at the spring game that one time? Your dad played at Penn State. Gus, you have anything to say? Okay. Gus, you can talk if you want. Like, we're going to let you talk. I mean, we're not going to, like, interrupt you if you want to talk.
The almighty Buckeyes.
Maybe the world-famous Buckeyes. The world-famous Ohio State Buckeyes. Which, is that even real? Are they actually world-famous?
I mean,
I guarantee you, man, if you ask who's world-famous, Penn State's world-famous, not Ohio State.
We have the largest alumni in the country, so I would go with Penn State. Yeah.
We're the largest alumni in the world.
Yeah.
And at this point, it's like over 700,000, I think, easily. So.
Insane.
But,
you got a prediction, Joe, for the game?
Yes, sir, I could send you pictures from that day. Oh, yeah, Joe. When did your dad play? I got to go into the Blash building and on the field with the players. It was a cool experience. Yeah, because your dad played there, huh? That's cool. Yeah, he's from Florida. You still in Florida, Joe? Joe, remember when Florida had all that flooding like a few years ago? Like, it was like really bad flooding.
Yeah.
He couldn't come up that one time because it was flooding so bad where he lives.
It's crazy.
But, yeah, man. So, I mean, we kind of given our breakdowns. I mean, is there, I still hasn't totally hit me that we're in this game. I mean, as crazy as that sounds, like, because I would have never thought last Saturday was like Twilight Zone, man. Like, just we all woke up Saturday morning, had no idea how great of a day it would be. I mean,
Yeah.
Michigan just embarrassed Ohio State. I mean, that was amazing.
Yep.
And then we crush Maryland, and then Loxley gets mad at Franklin. Franklin tells him to F off, pretty much, which I love. Little brother can't push you around.
Nope.
So
I think. I was just gonna say, Drew. Drew needs to look. He has to make plays happen today. Like against Ohio State, he wasn't given a good game plan. That's not on him. That's on Yurcich. That's on Koldalnicki in the Ohio State game. Drew was running for his life. He made a bunch of plays with his speed. He was our second leading rusher. We can't blame that game on Drew by any means. We all know that. It's not his fault. But today, if at the same time, if the game plan's not what it needs to be, he needs to be Superman today, dude. He needs to show glimpses of it, and he needs to take some shots. If there's tight coverage, you got a great arm, dude. Throw it on the money. Give somebody a chance on a 50-50 ball. You got to leave it all out on the table. Drop your nuts. You have to. You dropped your nuts against USC. We haven't seen that since that game, if you think about it. We really haven't. So drop your nuts. Let's do it, man. I told you, I'll give you the Lincoln. You can have the Lincoln. You can have the car, dude. You can have my car. Just win the Big Ten
Are you still offering your left leg?
I will give him my left leg. Yep. And my Lincoln. Both of them.
Well,
yeah.
I think you should give him your left leg if they win today and then win in the first round. That's leg giving time. This time around, just give him your car.
Yeah, I can't drive with one leg, so that's why you can have the car too.
Well, all you got to do is just give him your left leg. Your left leg. You'll be fine.
Yeah, and
everyone uses their right foot.
Yeah.
Low
scoring game.
Yeah, just this time around, you give him your car. I could give him. I have plenty of terrible towels. I could give him a terrible towel. I have a signed helmet here. It's got Tyler Smith and Joe Crispin on there. I got a Joe Crispin signed bobblehead. I could give him like a podcast polo. I could give him Mark Lesko Podcast polo. So, I could give him that stuff too. Your car, we'll give him your car and a Mark Lesko Podcast polo. And then I'll give Abdul something just because he's so awesome. We lost your sound.
Oh, sorry, I got it.
What are you saying?
I was saying, Gus, what are you going to give Drew if he wins the Big Ten championship? You should give him an apology for being an Ohio State homer and a Michigan homer every time they're on the field. You should give him an apology.
Gus,
I can give Drew a second, Lincoln.
Gus,
nice.
are you pro Ohio State, Gus? Well, that
yeah,
says
he
it all.
is. Yeah.
That says it all. He didn't say anything, so he doesn't want to comment. It's a shame, Gus. You need to be unbiased in your profession. But keep the comments coming, guys. YouTube's blowing up. Thank you for commenting. We will be doing post game tonight, like I said. If you can, please like, share, subscribe, and trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. Going to do a hot 500 subscriber giveaway. To enter, just comment on a live stream. Illicit's in. Omid's in. Joe's in. Colton's in. Lots of people in at this point. So, gonna do a 500 subscriber giveaway. Joe, you know how long it took us to get to 500 and how we've been trying to do that. So we're trying to get to 1,000 next, but we're gonna do a giveaway. Joe's someone I want to meet at some point. Joe, okay, so Joe said he thinks it'll be low scoring. All depends if we can get TDs and not field goals in the red zone.
Sure.
Yep, exactly, 100%. I can give Drew a second Lincoln. Sounds good, Colton. Mark, I sent you some pictures in your DMs, but next year, if you're at the spring game, I'd love to meet up for sure, man. Joe, can you tell me again when your dad played? And wasn't he on like the 80s team or something like that? I think he has a ring. His dad has a ring.
Oh, but it had to have been the 80s then. Yeah.
Well, yeah, for sure. But I don't know if he has a championship ring. I think I should specify what ring I'm talking about.
Oh, okay. I got you.
But I do think he has a ring, like the ring. But I don't know. Pretty much, if you've played at Penn State in any era, you have a ring of some sort. Unless you were like a freshman in like 2000, then you don't play. You didn't play in a single bowl game. I don't think you even had a winning season. Actually, yes, they did. In what, 2003, they had a winning season.
Okay.
2003, they had a winning season. I think they played. I forget who they played, but yeah.
Dude, Arizona State is up 45-10. That game is over. It's the third quarter still.
I think Iowa State might come back.
That's unbelievable. That's unbelievable, dude. This is a conference championship game.
Sponsored by Allstate Insurance. They're gonna need it after the game.
That's what I have.
Brett, who's your like players to watch tonight?
Well, for Oregon, it's Dylan Gabriel. He's just a little guy, 6 foot, 200 pounds. I mean, for a quarterback, he's a little guy. Think about like a Trace McSorley. Like he's small, but he's shifty. He can run. They don't run him all the time, but he had a touchdown run against Ohio State, so it's something to watch for. If he keeps the pocket clean, if they block for him, it's going to be hard to beat Oregon. I mean, let's just leave it at that. Like Abdul Carter needs to get pressure. We need a legacy game from tonight, then a sudden. Vanover. We need the guys to go hard tonight. We need them to get pressure on Dylan Gabriel, knock the ball out of his hand. So Dylan Gabriel is definitely somebody to watch. Tez Johnson, their slot receiver, he just came back last week after an injury. Very fast, shifty type. He's kind of like a KJ Hamler type. So you got to watch out for him. Mm-hmm. For Penn State, we already know Tyler Warren is an alien that we've been gracious to have his presence on Earth for 22 or 23 years now that he's been alive. Tyler Warren for sure for Penn State. Nick Singleton, somebody to watch because he's really coming along now that he's healthy again, so we need him to go hard. And Drew Aller, man. We need him to step up. We need him to drop his nuts, like we said. He needs to show that I'm a 5-star quarterback coming out of high school, and I'm the man. Like, this is who I am. So those are the players to watch.
Brett,
and then also,
just look at this comment real quick. Colton made a great point. We definitely need at least one of the receivers to step up. Everyone knows Oregon knows that the ball's going to Warren. D-line is very physical. Yep, 100%.
Yep.
Yeah, man. Brett, hold your thought, but this is such a statement win by Franklin, Drew Aller, Fleming, who really hasn't done much all season. I love that guy, but Kyler Cunningham, who we had on here, interviewed. He played against him in high school. People that were at that game said, I'm pretty sure he played him in high school because he's from Pennsylvania. I played in a golf tournament for Southern Columbia football, but he said that's the best high school football player he ever saw in his life. Wow. Julian Fleming. And I would love to see him do well, Pennsylvania guy. Wish he was here his whole career. I understand why he went to Ohio State, but so it could be such a statement win by everyone if this works out. But yeah, Drew Aller's got to drop his nuts. And like we said last episode, Brett, I think Franklin already did drop his nuts. He dropped them after last year, I think, but after Ohio State, he really was like, all right, this is like no more Mr. Nice Guy. Like like he just doesn't care anymore. I don't think he does. Like he's just balls to the wall, burn your ships. That's what I said. Penn State tonight, they have to burn their ships and just go out there and just smoke Oregon. They can dominate Oregon. They could make a statement tonight. No doubt we are number one. It'll be the first time we've been number one since 1997. Oh, man. And here's the thing. The last time we were number one, Michigan was at home. Charles Woodson just killed us. Bob Stevenson, literally, like, his face exploded. He got hit so hard in the head. that's to this day, I think that's the biggest hit in college football history was that hit on Bob Stevenson, the tight end. You remember that?
Yeah.
The Michigan player, I forget his name. He was paralyzed. He never played again. Bob Stevenson never played again. The hit was so hard that his face literally like swelled up. It almost like exploded. Like he had to like go to the ER. He like woke up. I do remember this. He woke up and he's like, "I'm fine." And then like he said like a half hour later his head was just swelled up. Like he just a massive concussion. The other guy broke his neck. Darn it. I just watched the thing the other day again. But that was when Charles Woodson really solidified his Heisman. I mean, he just dominated that game. Keith Jackson was there. But that was the thing about back in the day, like they would have Lynn Swann at games, Keith Jackson, Dick Vermeil, I think, did some announcing. George Paterno. But yeah, that was the last time they were number one, man. So this could be a really, if you're a Penn State football person, like this is just, I mean, unbelievable.
We need this game.
Position. And again, we haven't been number one since 97. 99 we were 2. 05 we were 3. 08 we were 3. 17 we were 2, I think. 16, 17 we were 2.
Yep.
That's the highest we've been. We haven't been number one since 97. This is just, if you're a Penn State football fan, again, this is we are diehard fans. We do this show for fans. A show by diehard fans for fans. If you're a diehard fan, you're a fan, you know how much history it could be made tonight in this win, with a win. So, but yeah, Colton, you're right. Again, keep the comments coming, guys. But yeah, man. Again, it's gonna be their D line versus our O line. Our O line has to perform. We have a good O line, and Troutline is a great coach. He's a great recruiter. I mean, I don't know what Franklin's doing right now, but like he must be given a master class on recruiting because Ty Howell, who played when I was in school, he has the best tight end room in the country. I mean, he has like the Navy SEALs of tight ends of like college football. Like they're all just monsters, man. They're killers, all of them.
Let's talk about the flip. He just flipped Andrew Oldest from Michigan.
Yeah, Phil Troutwine. He was on Tim Tebow's line, and when they were good. I mean, that guy it's not even close what he's been doing. Deion Barnes played when I was in school. Another guy. Dude, I think if we got Larry Johnson back, we'd win a national title. That'd be fantastic.
I mean, our defensive line's better than theirs, so I don't think so.
It's Deion Barnes doing great, but Larry Johnson's just like Elijah Robinson, the D coordinator for Syracuse. We almost had him back. He got Walter Nolan down there at Texas A&M.
Yep.
And then he goes to Ole Miss this year, Walter Nolan, and they do nothing. They got so many transfers, bro.
Yeah, so many.
And then Quinshon Junkins goes to Ohio State, doesn't do anything.
Nope.
Pretty funny. They got freaking Caleb Downs, too, at Ohio State, and they did nothing with it. Carnell Tate, according to Gus.
Caleb Downs.
Carnell Tate.
Yeah,
Carnell Tate is the greatest thing of all time. Then he drops an open pass.
Well, you got to give Caleb Downs some credit. He covered Warren really well in the first half. Like, he was all over Warren. Well, I'll give him that. But at the same time, Warren got his in the second half. You just got to...
Yeah, exactly. And I think they'll do well, Alex. Chef Alex, I think they will do well. The chef himself is on.
Dylan Gabriel hasn't seen a pass rush like this all season either, so it's a good battle.
Franklin definitely went heavy on the recruiting receivers and offensive line. Our tight end room is already in good shape with Reynolds. Yeah, because, I mean, honestly, man, I think he knows this, Franklin, already. Aller's coming back.
Yep.
We're good at quarterback, right? We're good at quarterback for at least 2 more years. So, yeah, he went heavy, like Colton just said. He said Franklin definitely went heavy on recruiting receivers and offensive line. Our tight end room is already in good shape. Yeah. And we're continuing to reload there. So, sorry, guys. So we're good at quarterback. We're pretty much good at running back. I mean, we got, how many running backs did we get, man? Like, our running back room is insanely stacked right now.
It's insane, yeah.
It's ridiculous. It is, man. It is ridiculous right now how good it is. But Franklin definitely went heavy on recruiting. Yeah, receivers. Got receivers. We got tight ends. We got linemen. We're good at quarterback. I think he knows Drew's coming back because either way, we got Bo for at least 1 year.
Yep.
And then we got Grunkmeyer. Then we got Beckham Kritzik coming in. Then we got that other kid that
Troy Hoon from California in 2026. Yep.
Who's that kid from Pennsylvania we got? I thought we got a kid from Pennsylvania.
The tight end?
No, quarterback. He's like 6'6" or something like that.
No, we didn't get a PA guy. No. We might flip. So we might flip. What's his name? North Carolina's quarterback commit for 2025 cycle. Crap, what's his name? He's a top 10 quarterback in the 2025 class. We might flip him. It depends on who North Carolina hires as their coach.
Brett, can you give a recruiting update real quick?
Yeah, I mean, Penn State is on an absolute tear right now. They just flipped Andrew Olish, top player in Pennsylvania for 2025. He was committed to Michigan since June or July. He just took a visit to Oregon. It was between Oregon and Penn State. We all knew he was going to flip somewhere because he's been all over the place. He went to Florida on a visit.
Yeah, KJ's going to stay, Joe, I think.
Yeah, KJ's probably going to stay after being hurt. So, yeah, we just got Andrew Olish,
awesome.
top 3 tight end in the country coming out of high school, on top of Luke Reynolds, the top tight end last year. Like, we're on an absolute tear in the tight end spot. And then receivers, we got 4 new receivers coming in, all 4 stars. Some bigger guys, too. Matthew Otten is 6'1", 210 pounds already. He's already college-ready size. And then you got Lyric Samuel from New York. He's 6'4", only like 175, 180 pounds. But he just has to put on a few pounds, and he's a true X receiver. Like, he'll go up and get it. On the outside, he's a freak. So we got him. And then Jeff Exeter Jr. out of Maryland. He's 6'1" and a half,
and
215 pounds.
LeVar's a sleeper, man. He's going to be good. LeVar's a sleeper.
LeVar Keys?
No, LeVar Jr.
Oh, yeah. And we got LeVar Arrington the second.
He's going to be a freak, like, no doubt.
Yeah. He's a 4-star recruit.
I think his dad will be on the staff at some point, too.
Yeah, I think so, too. Well, yeah, we're on an absolute tear right
Johnson, like, get that guy back. I mean, it would be amazing if, LeVar was somehow on the staff. I mean, he doesn't have to be, but, yeah. That receiver we got yesterday, Ohio State wanted. Yeah, man, like, recruiting-wise, what were we, 15th? We were 5th in the Big Ten, 15th in the country or something like that, which is... We're
15th now. Yeah, we're 15th now. We could go up even more if we get that quarterback. But we were at like 17 and then jumped to 15. But anywhere from 15 to 10, you're splitting hairs, man. Like, you're talking about one recruit over another one for this team. Like, it's literally... And sometimes a team might have more recruits that bumps it up more. We have 27 recruits. That's a lot. So,
right. So Brett, here's a question for you real quick. And for you guys in the comments too. All right. So I'm a James Franklin critic. I am not a hater. I'm a critic. There are a lot of James Franklin haters. Clearly the guy is good at recruiting. Players, coaches, everything. The guy he's a menace when it comes to that. All right. So the best in the country, I'd say, probably. For where he's at, as Jared said before, you're recruiting people to come to State College, which if you know State College, there's not much around it. It's kind of middle of nowhere. I'm from outside of State College, so I'm really in the middle of nowhere. I have a guy getting corn out of a field next to my house right now. I'm in the sticks. So, because we own farmland, here where I live, but okay. James Franklin goes to Okay, I'll just give an example. Florida. James Franklin goes to Florida, right? He does what he does in Florida, what he does here. Is he winning a national title, making the playoff more than he did here? Is he doing that at another school? James Franklin.
At Florida?
Just another school. Notre Dame, USC, he could go to Tennessee, whatever.
I think he could do the same.
Like,
It
but is
depends
he
what
winning
school,
a
but-
national title? Let's say he went to, and say he has the same passion for Penn State at another school because he's a Penn State guy. He's a Penn State fan, James Franklin. He's a Pennsylvania guy. Say he brings the passion for Penn State to another school, a blue blood. Does he win a national title in these past 15 years? I'm sorry, like 10 years, and make the playoff at least once at another school?
Maybe. It depends what school, man. It really does. I mean, to be honest here.
Yeah, Colton, you're right. So you think he does or he doesn't?
It depends what school. It really does. I mean, like,
All right, so SEC
Not at Florida.
school, he's at Georgia.
at Georgia, yeah.
Why?
It's Georgia. They're a big brand. They're one of the biggest brands.
Well, they weren't when James Franklin came to Penn State.
That's true. Kirby put them back on the map. Georgia was good in the past, but
But my question is, if a James Franklin, the man himself, goes somewhere else, instead leaves Vanderbilt and goes somewhere else, is it the same story there or is it different?
I mean, there's too many things that go into play with that. I have no idea. I can't give you an actual answer to that.
I think a large reason, my point is, a large reason why we haven't gotten to where we should yet, totally, is because we had sanctions. It's state college.
Yeah.
We're behind. We were behind. We're still behind, but we're not as far behind. Our facilities were not up to par. If James Franklin is not at Penn State, he's doing this at another school, I think he would have had an appearance at a national title, and he probably would have been in the playoff more than once.
Yeah.
But because he's at Penn State, all the
Deciding factors, yeah.
obstacles we had to overcome, he has to overcome. James Franklin has done way, 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 way more than most people give him credit for.
Absolutely. I agree.
So I think he has more success at another school. And my greater point is, at Penn State, this recruiting recently is just another example of all the good that he has done. Again, I'm a James Franklin critic. I'm not a hater. I don't hate the man. I want to win big for him just as much as I want to win big for us. I don't think that I feel bad for him in many ways because he hasn't gone there yet. And he gets a lot of hate. He's not a good game day coach. He's not a big game coach. A lot of people are saying that Oregon's going to beat us because James Franklin can't win the big game. But if he's at another school, I think he has more success than he's had here, just because of the situation that we had here. So it's just, my greater point is there's a lot of credit that needs to go to him. And he's not going to get that he's not going to get that, like, luck, if you will, of being at a Georgia, or luck, if you will, being at even a Florida, where it's the SEC. There's a lot of luck that goes into like an SEC school because of where you're recruiting from, who's in your backyard, who the alumni are, what the program does, the support they get. So my greater point is, it's not just Franklin. We have to get there as a whole. Everyone.
Yep.
I
got a good example.
As a whole. So we got receivers, we got tight ends, we got linemen, we have a quarterback. He knows we have a quarterback. We're pretty set there. I want to get like a Dylan Gabriel. That'd be great. Drew Aller essentially is that guy, but we need to get another Dylan Gabriel coming up the pipe here. But yeah, what's your
Oh well, to add on that, I think Ethan Grunkemeyer. I think he has a higher ceiling than Drew. Ethan Grunkemeyer because he's more mobile than Drew. So I think Ethan Grunkemeyer and if Andy Kolnicki stays in that offense, I'm telling you, I mean he's got the same quarterback coach as Drew Aller. The ball comes out of his hand just as nicely, maybe even nicer than Drew Aller. You guys will see. He's probably not going to play for a year or two, if you know. But Ethan Grunkemeyer is going to be legit. Just mark my words, man. It's going to happen. Here's a good example. James Franklin at Clemson. Let's say the last 3 or 4 years, Franklin would be doing a better job at Clemson than Dabo Swinney is right now. Dabo Swinney is single-handedly messing that program up. He's not going in the portal at all. He's not adapting. He's not doing anything in the new way. NIL, I'm sure he's figuring that out, but he's not going in the transfer portal. He's not being aggressive. Franklin would have a better record at Clemson in the last 3 to 4 years than Dabo Swinney does right now. There's a good example.
Okay.
It's a fact, right?
Yeah, Dabo's a pretty weird guy.
Yep, there you go. Gronk is one hell of an athlete.
Big Dabo guy. Dabo.
Yeah.
I'm not a big Dabo guy.
We can have Dabo on next episode. You can stay at home, Gus. You can stay at home for the next episode. We're gonna have Dabo on.
Well, first of all, Gus is the king of just moronic takes. So I would like to keep him on. Maybe we can bring Dabo on as well. I have no hate for Dabo. I'm not a big Dabo guy, but
yeah,
Gus is staying for a while. I think he's going to be on the show for quite some time.
Yeah.
Especially if the playoffs play out like we all hope.
He needs to be fired, man. He needs to be fired.
Dude, they've kept Kirk Herbstreit for years. They don't do it. I mean,
he's nowhere near as bad as Gus, man. He's not. He's not.
The only thing about Kirk is like I just knowing, like even today, like he has his dog on, and I like I said, I can't stand Kirk Herbstreit. You're right, he's not as bad as Gus in terms of like the commentating. Kirk Herbstreit is the king of just bias, total bias morons. He's at the Mount Rushmore of that, but Gus is up there now too. But like I said, they never fired Kirk Herbstreit, who is so odd. It's just like Kirk is he's a mosquito, you know. You thought you got the mosquito away, and then all of a sudden it comes back and bites you again. Like he's just always there, taking little bites, taking little jabs at Penn State, and you have to like.
I don't hear that. I don't know where you get that from because he's never talking. He's always talked pretty highly of Penn State. Anytime I've heard him talk about Penn State, I'm telling you, I don't know. Anytime I've heard him talk,
dude, I'm telling you, like, yeah,
his son.
You guys in the comments, you know what I'm talking about. Like,
Kirk Herbstreit's son, his son camped at Penn State last summer. Like, he brought his son here. You know what I mean? Like, if he didn't like Penn State, he wouldn't have done that at all. He wouldn't have did it.
Hey, man. At the end of the day, I said what I said.
No, I get it.
That's it. Kirk Herbstreit's son, I hope he never comes back here again. I would probably boycott him coming here. I don't want any part of him here. So, Dabo is weird. He did excellent in the 2010s and revived Clemson, but he hasn't adapted to the new era, and now he's holding its team's true potential back.
It's a fact.
I mean, you know, like I'm Catholic. I'm a religious guy. I'm not like knocking your doors down religious, but he said like NIL, we do name, image, and likeness of Jesus or something like that, and it's like, what are you saying, man?
What are you talking about?
Honestly, like, what are you talking about? Like, I don't know. I really don't know what he's saying. Like but yeah, you're right, man. Like if Franklin's at Clemson, has a better record than Dabo.
Yep.
But yeah, I just this is a huge game. Thank you guys for commenting. YouTube's blown up, as always. Thank you guys for commenting and giving your thoughts, and we love having you guys on here. Alex, if you're still on, you guys give your thoughts. Like, what's your score predictions? What's your matchups? Like, let us know. We gave ours. Well, I'll give my score prediction is like 27-21 Penn State. And again, matchups to watch: RO line / run game against their D line, and then our secondary, our defense, our secondary essentially, and our hybrid linebackers. What do they do? How do they stop? I think Oregon's going to try to run because they know we're probably going to be playing to pass. Tom Allen, years and years of head coaching experience, is now our D coordinator. He's going to be ready. It's going to come down to our offense, man.
Yep.
It's not Drew Aller's not going to win or lose us this game. The play calling will. The offensive line and the efficiency of the offensive play calling will win or lose us this game. It's not going to be our defense. We could go down big in the beginning. We could go down like 21-0. Essentially doesn't mean anything. We can come back. So you guys give your thoughts. I just don't think like I think Penn State's key to victory is our defensive line getting to the quarterback. Sutton is 100% hopefully, and Abdul needs to let loose.
Yep.
That's right.
It's true. I didn't get my prediction yet. I'll do mine quick, you guys want. So you said 27-21 Penn State? I got Penn State in this one, guys. I'm a homer. I got to pick Penn State in this, man. It just feels different. We haven't played them in 30 years. There's no mental block against Oregon. It's against Ohio State, Michigan. There's no mental block coming into this game. Franklin dropped his nuts at the Minnesota game. He's ready to go. I don't think they learned from their mistakes. Let's hope so. Anyways, I think they did. Give me Penn State 24-21 in a low-scoring game. So that'd be the under. The under is 50, right? Yeah, so we're going to hit the under on that one. The Penn State defense is going to keep us in this game. I don't know if it can win us this game. We're going to have to do enough offensively to get points. But if Zion Tracy can get another pick six or something, man, it's only going to help our case. I mean, it's Drew doesn't have to be Superman in this, but he does have to take some shots that he didn't take against Ohio State. I understand that the receivers weren't getting open, but there's got to be some plays where you just got to let loose and throw it up and 50-50 ball and get Penn State to do it. Also, I was hearing a lot of talk that the game might not be packed because people are going to save their money for the playoff games. So we'll have to see what the stadium looks like. It might not be a crazy atmosphere, if I'm being honest with you. I mean, Penn State's going to show up and Oregon fans are going to show up, but can you fill 60,000 or 65,000? Probably, but I don't know. There's a lot of talk how flights were a lot of money for this game, and the tickets are like $12, so it's kind of crazy.
Alex has them 31-30. Cool.
Zane Durant coming in hot. Yep, Zane Durant. Let's go.
I think they'll fill it up, Brett. I think that's total BS if they don't fill it up. I think they will.
Yeah, I didn't believe them. Somebody was saying that. I think it was Sean Fitz who said that. I was like, I don't know, man.
Yeah, that's another thing, Joe. We said it all year. Got to stay healthy. Yep. KJ will come back, 100%. I fully trust that KJ's coming back. I think there's a shot he comes back this year. I mean, have you heard otherwise that he's not coming back?
Well, he's not even with the team, man. He's in Maryland. He's at home. That's not a good sign. If he's not been with the team, probably not coming back this year. Yeah. He's been in Maryland, probably training and stuff or doing physical therapy, but.
All right. The Chef has 31-30 Penn State.
Yep, good pick.
Colton has Penn State. I think Joe has Penn State too. So Colton's going to give Aller a second Lincoln.
Yep.
Alex,
what kind of Lincoln you got?
He'd be willing to cook Aller some dinner.
Let's find out. What kind of Lincoln you got? Put it in the chat.
Yeah, dude. Like, freaking Lucas Oil is like.
Yeah, it's only 65
compared to Beaver.
Yeah, I see it. MKX.
MKX.
Nice. I got the MKZ, man. That's what's up. 2007 Lincoln MKZ. It's a classic.
Yeah.
It's got the gold and the wood grain in the inside. It's a white car. It's got the tan leather and wood grain. Yeah.
Yeah. See, I don't know. You guys are speaking a different language right now, so I don't know.
It's they're luxury Lincoln cars. They're nice. He's got the small SUV one, and I got the car. 2011 3. Yeah, I got the 3.5 V6, man. It's the 2007, but it looks newer than that.
So V6, that means. What does V6 mean?
So V4, a 4-cylinder is like the smallest you can get. V6, and then there's a V8.
It's a 6-cylinder car?
Yeah. I got the 3.5 liter. It's got a big engine on it, dude. Yeah.
6 cylinders are generally in like SUVs.
Yeah, that must be. Maybe his MKX has that, but yeah, my MKZ has that too.
Like that's my
car is a bigger engine than my dad's truck. He's got a hybrid truck, so that's why. But still.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing about like today, man. Like a lot of technology overall and everything is good. I'm not gonna say what kind of car I have, but I have a pretty nice car. It's not like a Mercedes or anything like that, but I love my car. It's a SUV technically. It's not a car, but yeah. Consumer Reports really was good for it. So, Aller drives a Tesla. I wonder where they charge their Teslas. Does campus have any chargers? I wonder if they have any chargers there at Lash Building.
They probably do, yeah.
Yeah, because where are you charging your Tesla in State College? I know there's one at Sheets, Giant, Wise, I think. But they would have to have chargers at Lash at this point because all those guys drive Teslas pretty much.
A lot of them do, yeah. Or chargers, too.
That one company gave those players Teslas. It was a construction company, I think. PSU 24, Oregon 21. Every Sheets has a Tesla charger now.
Yep.
Not every one. Maybe
Most
in
of
State
them.
College, but not every one of them. Yeah.
State College, yeah.
The Sheets that are near me, they don't have them, I don't think. Yeah, every Sheets has a Tesla charger now. Yeah, they're getting there if they don't. All the remodeled Sheets, there's one being remodeled fairly close to me. And it looks like they have Tesla chargers now. I think it's required in all city, town, and state parks to have public charging. Yeah. So I would never, I don't think, I can't say, I don't think I'd ever want an electric car because I just don't trust it in the sense that for many reasons, but the charging just doesn't last that long, it seems, even in these nice Teslas. But those Teslas, man, like Elon Musk is changing the world. I mean, he's coming up, he's building like houses now, like those built box builds or something like that. He's got the Starlink, which I've thought about getting myself. He's got the electric cars. He's got the rockets. I mean, that guy alone, I mean, he's Steve Jobs, but with like a lot of stuff. One of the great minds of our time, for sure.
If Steve Jobs dropped his nuts, it would be Elon Musk, basically.
I think did he call it Tesla because of Tesla, Nikola Tesla? Is that why he called it Tesla?
I actually don't know,
because
to
he's
be honest with
basically
you.
Nikola Tesla of today.
Not sure.
But
he's on the right team, though. We know that. So
electric cars are interesting technology, but they aren't a permanent solution. And I built an electric dirt bike in Penn State's engineering program. Oh, that's cool.
Nice.
You went to Penn State too, Colton. So, Brett, you have anything else to say? I mean, we've been on here for an hour.
Franklin, Drew, Nick, Tyler Warren. Tyler Warren always drops his nuts, so we don't have to worry about that. Yeah, we already know the defense and Tom Allen are going to drop their nuts. Yeah, I don't know. I'm curious to see how this game pans out. It could go either way. It really could. I mean, I could have picked Oregon 24-21, but I'm a Penn State fan. I'm a lifer, so I just have a feeling that this is the time where we get over the hump and beat the number one team in the country, and it has to happen today, man. If we fight hard and we lose by a couple, I'm going to be heartbroken because we lost the Big Ten championship, but I'll be proud of our guys for going out there and giving it everything that they got. So that's what I'm looking at. Give it everything you got, and I think they will. I think they will.
100%. Yeah, burn the bridges, man. I think it's what they're gonna do. So, thank you guys for coming on. We'll be on for post game. I'm sure we'll see Illicit in the post game, but we'll see you guys for post game. If they win, it's gonna be a huge episode. 100%. Probably gonna break 1,000 views again. But thank you guys for coming on. Thank you for commenting, Alex, Colton, Joe. Joe, haven't seen you for a while. It's good to have you back on, man. But yeah, you guys, we'll see you for post game. Beating Oregon and winning a conference championship, bigger statement than beating ASU in round.
Absolutely, yeah. Yep.
Yeah, man. Like I said, we could be number one for the first time since '97. That would be insane. We will be number one if we win. Great show. Thanks, Joe.
Thanks, Joe.
But yeah, we'll see you guys
Thanks,
for post
guys.
game. Again, we got post game tonight. Gonna do the college football reveal show tomorrow. Probably just be me and Jared. Brett will be working.
I'll be working.
And then I'm doing the Penn State basketball first show for Penn State basketball coverage on this podcast with Tyler Smith tomorrow. So we'll see you guys for that.
Team looks good. They look good.
Oh man, Penn State basketball.
They're back.
Yeah, man. Like they're back. They
got the right coach.
I don't even want to say they're back because they were never really there to say that.
True.
I mean, Tyler wouldn't say that, but they are here. They're
Mike Rhodes.
Arrived.
Mike Rhodes has arrived, and he's recruiting out of his mind.
They were up by 27 to the preseason number 1. That is like, what is that? That's insane.
Yeah.
Thanks, Colton. We are.
Yep. Thanks,
right,
guys. Enjoy the game.
Yeah, Brett.
Buffalo chicken dips on the table.
Brett, stay on so we can talk a little bit.
All right, sounds good.
All right, guys. See you in the post game.
See you there, guys.
Let's get this dub.